What's going on, people? It's your man, the YB, back once again. So, as promised, we've got the leaked footage, not even my words, this next cat here, leaked footage of Tyson Fury pressing Francis Ngannou in Saudi. Oh no, people. Now, the background for this is, well, there's two narratives going on. Some of the Ngannou fans are telling me, anyway, you know what, let's run down the narrative quickly. So, we all saw the press conference. I did a video a few days ago on it. Ngannou saying, if it wasn't for boxing rules, if it wasn't for the authorities, then I'd do this, that, the other, because I'm a mixed martial arts fighter, essentially. Fury's in the crowd. Fast forward now to whenever it was, after the press conference at Prince Turki's house. Tyson Fury steps to Ngannou and has his fingers all up in his face. Now, I'm not sure how much you man can see here, but essentially, if you go on to Dictate Sport Boxing 2 weeks ago, you'll see this post here, so let's play it now. Here we go.
You lost fair and square sausage. You want to run it back after you get done with him? I'll bust you this time next time. You lost fair and square sausage. You want to run it back after you get done with him? I'll bust you this time next time.
Now, it's annoying really, I haven't found, maybe I'll look for the full footage. I haven't done much looking, but I should look for it, but either way. It would be intriguing to see the full footage. Nonetheless, though, I don't think you can see it because it's not full screen. But if you watch carefully, I mean, you can see Tyson here, his hand there. Look, here we go. Here's the point. Tyson Fury's pointing at him and putting it on him. And Ngannou, if you look carefully again, his lips like this. He's biting his lip. Now, my issue with this is, a lot of Ngannou fans have come out and said things like, oh, YB, you're wrong. This happened before the press conference. Some people are alleging the reason Ngannou lost it and talked about what he'd do in mixed martial arts is because this event, this situation here at Prince Turki's house, took place before the press conference, which then urged Ngannou to do it. So people were telling me, YB, you're wrong. Ngannou, or Tyson Fury didn't check Ngannou because it was... I believe it was after. I believe Ngannou talked a whole bunch of shit, yeah? And then this is Fury pressing him. But whatever way you look at it, yeah? Whether it was Ngannou said something first and then Fury pressed him, which is my opinion. I believe the press conference happened first, then this video came out. Or whether you believe Fury pressed him first and then the press conference was after, it's irrelevant. The fact of the matter is, people, let's break it down both ways. If this happened before the press conference, which urged Ngannou to start talking big, the question is, yeah, why wait until a press conference has taken place to start talking tough, yeah? It's no good talking about how the laws of mixed martial arts or the laws of boxing saved you when 24, 48 hours before, dude in your face pressing you. Yeah, show us some mixed martial arts. Now, people can say, well, YB, it was at Prince Turki's house and this, that, the other. Listen, yeah. Equally, it was at Prince Turki's press conference or whatever else that you decided to jump all in a video, like P. Diddy, and say you're going to do something. And you ain't do nothing. He in your face. Yeah? That's why it's best, in my opinion, to stay humble. Unless you're really on something like that, unless you're really on it like that, it's best to say nothing. And Ngannou historically has been very humble. So, if this altercation took place before the press conference, before Ngannou mouthed off in the press conference, the question is, why did Ngannou wait 24 to 48 hours to say something? In fact, why did he say anything at all? Yeah? All we should have seen is a leaked video of Ngannou double-legging him and getting off on him, and it being a big brawl. Let's not forget, people, this wouldn't be the first brawl. Anyone's been brawling. Yeah? Hey and Chisora in a nightclub, they brawling. John Jones and Cormier, they brawling. Mike Tyson, Lennox Lewis, they brawling. So if you're alleged to be such a mixed martial arts god and such a hard man, why is this guy pressing you like this, in this fashion? Now, the other side of things is, well, maybe Ngannou talked big and then got pressed, which is equally as bad. Why? Well, if the press conference was first, so Ngannou talks big and then Fury presses him like this, which I believe to be the case, again, the question is, how could Ngannou, after saying all... Let's assume this video was induced by the press conference. So Ngannou was talking a whole bunch and then Fury catches up with him in person and presses him. The question remains, If you say something at a press conference about how the boxing rules are saving you, and then man confronts you in your face, you ain't do nothing. So we are confronted here with a dude who say that the rules are protecting Tyson, but when it came to the street, essentially, Ngannou there biting his lip, having a dude wagging his finger in his face. That is a violation. Now you can argue, well, Fury didn't try to fight as such, but I'm sorry, but what Fury's doing there, putting his fingers out a foot away from Ngannou's face, that is fighting talk. Yeah? That's fighting talk. And Ngannou was the one who was saying, you're lucky that this, that, the other. He was implying that in a street fight he'd do something. He's implying that without boxing rules and whatever else. So it was in his arena. Yeah? Ngannou was the one who took it there to that extent. Since the Fury fight, Ngannou's been the one taking it there. Fury's lucky it wasn't MMA because I'd have done this. Fury really, after losing or drawing or winning against Ngannou, hasn't said much. He hasn't been bitter about anything. So Ngannou's had the fighting talk. It came to the situation, he was confronted with the situation, and he biting his lip. Ooh, you know what I'm saying? Now obviously, realistically speaking, do you want to have a fight at Prince Turki's house? Now if it was anyone else, yeah, if you were just two random Joes in Saudi Arabia, I'd advise highly against that, because you're going to be going to jail for 20 years. But in this occasion, yeah, how aristocracies work, if you're friends with the prince, you ain't doing no day in jail. If Ngannou had a shot for Fury, it would have been swept under the rug. You don't have the normal laws. Equally though, I guess could be considered quite disrespectful to be tumbling on the floor at Prince Turki's house. However, Prince Turki is a boxing fan as such. He must know how this goes. He's not like a casual fan. I don't know how casual he is, but he knows some of the history of the game. He'll know that, wait a minute, if anything, it's on him, right? You've got two people who you know who are beefing, and you've got them with no security, and you've got them face to face. If something kicked off, I think he'd probably take responsibility. There's no way, bear in mind, a lot of the Saudi involvement in boxing is to do with kind of reputation laundering. We pay money, we throw money at sport to make our regime look more respectable, whatever you want. There's no way he's going to be known as the guy who sent two of the biggest names in combat sports to jail for having a roll around. Yeah, if anything, these guys, they want to show that Saudi Arabia is a more liberal country. How many brawls do we have in UFC fights or boxing fights in the West? Loads. It's not a big deal. There's no police involvement. There's nothing. They roll around and it's over. I think Prince Turki would back that, to be quite frank. But I do understand why both men... Well, end of the day, if you're a man and an animal as such, an animal don't care if it's Prince Turki's house. And the way Ngannou was talking was like he was like that. Yeah, there's certain man you could take to Prince Turki's house, I believe, and they roll around. Because they ain't even thinking that deep. They ain't even thinking about respect. They just thinking about what's in front of them. Right now, I'm not even sure, don't quote me on this, but I reckon if you had John Jones, and Daniel Cormier in the heat of their kind of rivalry, and you put them face to face like this, they'd end up on the floor, at Prince Turki's or not, because whilst they may respect Prince Turki, in the moment, if John Jones has got his face wagging in DC's face and there's no security there, they're going to be rolling. Because at some point, respect for oneself, respect for an individual's own dignity rises above respect for someone's house you're in. After all, it could be argued if Prince Turki respected if Prince Turki respected the individuals in their own right, he'd say, let me not put these two individuals in a situation where it's liable to turn left. Yeah, I respect Tyson Fury enough, I respect Ngannou enough, let me make sure at all times these two men aren't in a face-to-face together. Because I don't want that for them. So in this situation, that should have trumped all, in my opinion. People say, well, why Ngannou had a fight coming up? I didn't ask him to jump on the press conference and talk a whole bunch. Whatever way you look at it, he talked too much about what he was going to do. And Tyson Fury, fair play to Tyson Fury. Yeah, we know in a street fight, Fury going to lose. I'd like to think, and odds are, if I was a betting man, oops, Fury going to knock him spark out with one punch. But yeah, if I was a betting man, Ngannou would win a street fight. And he told us he can do something. Yeah, boxing rules protect you. Well, there was no boxing rules in this skirmish. Yeah, and you're biting your lip. That is mute, people. Yeah, this guy made moot points, just talking a whole bunch, and Fury there wagging his finger. Yeah, you sausage, you big overcooked sausage. That's a violation. Yeah, Ngannou should twist him up, in my opinion, because really the amount of man that's around, it wouldn't have gone on for long. There wouldn't have been much damage. A quick double leg, and then by the time Francis landed a double leg, he wouldn't even have to drop elbows and things. He could do a double leg, like just embarrass Tyson Fury, sit on top of him, maybe slap him on the face a few times, and by that point, he can be pulled off. Simple. Instead, and that would be a historic moment, yeah? And you could then get in a press conference and say, listen, I told him, I ain't playing like that. I told him the boxing rules keep him alive. And I demonstrated the start of that. I demonstrated putting him on his back, I mounted him, full mount, and I slapped him on his face like a naughty child. Oops. Yeah? He fucked about and he found out. What can I say, Prince Turki? That's not on me, that's on you for not putting in security in place that ensures the survival of Tyson Fury. We knew this. I told you this, Prince Turki. I told you 48 hours ago. Yeah? It's only the powers that be and the laws in place that keep him alive. Yeah, Prince Turki thought it was slick. He thought it was cute. Oh, let's get these two together. And he found out. Your man's on his back, getting slapped. And he's lucky that it's not 10,000 years ago. Caveman style. Because his ass would have been grass. Oops. Simple bars like that. That's what could have happened. Instead, I mean, it's not historic. This video isn't everywhere like it would be if Ngannou had a double-legged him, but nonetheless, the internet knows, yeah? People who are into this know now. You did nothing. You talked a whole bunch at the press conference, either way. Whether this was before or after, you talked a whole bunch, and you did nothing. Yeah? You either did nothing after the press conference, or you did nothing before it, and then talked some. Nothing is the centerpiece of the situation. But yeah, I have to say to some extent, fair play to Fury. Fury was not the instigator of this beef. After the fight, he came, Ngannou said some things, Fury then, it's one thing that Ngannou talked a lot in the media, on social media. Fury then, man to man, presses him. So think of it as like a my go, your go, yeah? Fury wasn't talking a whole bunch before the fight, he was respectful. End of the day, both men were in the ring together, Fury won, or whatever you want to call it, and Ngannou was bitter. Yeah, so Ngannou, this is how it went. After a fight, most fighters are balanced. Yeah, we shared the rings for 12 rounds. You're the better man, or you're the better man, and it's left there. Ngannou took it upon himself after having 12 rounds to show his dominance to get on Twitter and talk. So that's Ngannou. Ngannou made the first move after the fight. Fury makes a second move after the fight. Ngannou talked on the internet. I'm now confronting you man to man, face to face, 2 feet apart, and putting my fingers mere centimetres from your face. So Ngannou's gone. Fury is then up the stakes, pulling up in person. Fury didn't reply on social media, or if he did, he then leveled it up. I'm not only going to talk on social media, I'm going to press you to your face, which is really, I respect that. Anyone can say something on social media. So Ngannou went first, Fury raised him and finished him, and it was Ngannou's response. It should have been Ngannou's prerogative at that point to raise the stakes again. This man pulled up to me in person and pressed me. The onus is now on Ngannou to say, hey, get your finger out of my face, unless you want to lose it, or say nothing and just take his finger off. Yeah, you wagged it around and you lost it. Oops. Instead, he sit there, butting his lip, full of anxiety, weak. Bottom line. And this should be a message to everyone out there. Don't talk. Don't talk. Because at some point, someone's going to pull that hoe card out. And unfortunately, he got pulled. Fury pulled it on him. Fair play to Fury. Fury could have sat there and said, oh, Ngannou wants beef. Ngannou wants beef. And he talked a bunch at the press conference and, he's an MMA fighter. Let me just sit in my box and pretend I don't see him kind of thing. We've all seen them ones before. David Haye, for example, there's a famous one 10 years ago. David Haye and Shannon Briggs. Shannon Briggs is there kicking off. And David Haye's looked like, it's a big crowd. And David Haye keeps avoiding him and walking backwards and biting his lip. He ain't won it. Fury could have done that. He could have said, listen, Ngannou's over there. He's talked a bunch. He does mixed martial arts. Let me just pretend I can't see him. He ain't do that. Straight over there, finger in the face. I salute that. Ngannou bottled it, basically. He talked for nothing. he might as well have said nothing based on this video. Anyway, let me know your thoughts, people. Smash the like button, subscribe, and let off the bell 100%, no doubt.